let's talk about something huge. What if two of the biggest names in all of entertainment just decided to merge? We're going to break down a hypothetical deal that is so massive it could completely reshape Hollywood and, maybe more importantly, change what you pay every single month just to watch your favorite shows.
Just imagine waking up and seeing this headline: Netflix is acquiring Warner Bros. Now, this wouldn't just be some boring business deal. No, we're talking about one of the biggest acquisitions in the history of entertainment, sending shockwaves that would be felt all across the globe. So, first up, let's just try and wrap our heads around the sheer scale of an agreement like this, because the numbers we're about to see, they're honestly just mind-boggling.
The initial price tag we're talking about here is a staggering 72 billion with a B US dollars. That is an almost unimaginable amount of money, right? Enough to completely shift the balance of power in the entire industry pretty much overnight.
And just to put that into perspective for everyone watching in India, that's about 6.48 lakh crore rupees. So yeah, this deal wouldn't just be a Hollywood story. An investment this big has consequences for absolutely everyone.
But, a move like this isn't just about buying out a competitor. It is about building an unrivaled content empire. So what would Netflix actually get for all that cash? Well, Netflix wouldn't just be buying a studio. It'd be getting its hands on a legendary library. I mean, just think about it for a second. HBO and its entire legacy of incredible TV shows. The whole DC universe, Batman, Superman, all of it. The magical world of Harry Potter. The epic saga of Game of Thrones. Plus Cartoon Network and Discovery. It's an absolute treasure trove of iconic brands.
The strategy would be crystal clear. As a hypothetical Netflix announcement might say, they'd be creating a huge content universe. Just imagine, one single service where you could finish watching Stranger Things and then jump right into an episode of Game of Thrones. This deal would basically consolidate decades of classic entertainment with the biggest streaming hits of today. Okay, so this all sounds great, but it brings us to the most important question for literally millions of viewers. What is this massive deal actually going to cost you? What does it mean for your wallet?
You see, India has always been a pretty unique market for Netflix. While subscribers in places like the UK or the US can pay upwards of 1,200, even 1,500 rupees, India's basic plan starts at just 149. Now, this low-price strategy was brilliant for building a massive user base here, but when you have to pay for a deal this big, that could become a real problem.
So it all comes down to this one business term called ARPU, which stands for Average Revenue Per User. To justify spending 6.48 lakh crore rupees, a company has to increase its revenue. And when Netflix would look at its global numbers, its ARPU in India would stick out like a sore thumb. It's one of the lowest in the world. Which leads us to the unavoidable question, right? How does a company make back that kind of money? Well, the most obvious path is to raise prices in markets where you feel there's room to grow. And for Netflix, all signs would point directly to India. So according to industry experts, the consequence of this mega merger would likely be a pretty significant price hike. The prediction? That basic subscription plan in India could jump into the 350 to 400 rupee range. That's the potential direct cost of a Hollywood blockbuster deal for you. But just when you think the ink is about to dry on this historic, hypothetical deal, the story takes a wild, dramatic turn. A last-minute challenger storms onto the scene, and they are ready for a fight. And here is the plot twist. Paramount swoops in with a rival bid of its own. Their claim? That Netflix's offer is a total lowball that massively undervalues this legendary studio and all its amazing assets. And just like that, the game has completely changed. So what started as a straightforward acquisition has suddenly erupted into a full-blown corporate showdown. This would be the great takeover battle for the very future of Hollywood. All right, let's break down how this battle would really stack up. The final Netflix deal on the table is valued at around $82.7 billion. But Paramount's offer comes in significantly higher, at almost $108.4 billion. The real story here, though, is the strategy. Netflix went the friendly route, negotiating a deal with the Warner Bros. Board. Paramount is trying what's called a hostile takeover. They're bypassing the board and going straight to the shareholders, basically betting that the shareholders will choose the bigger paycheck. And so we're left with a massive cliffhanger. What started as this colossal, landscape-changing deal has turned into an epic bidding war.
Would Netflix manage to secure its content empire and then raise prices? Or could Paramount swoop in and emerge as the new king of Hollywood? The future of how we watch and what we pay for it really hangs in the balance.